The original Dark Souls game has a lot of flaws, and it's not perfect by any means. Of course, most sensible people know this. That's the reason it's called by many a flawed masterpiece. And I very much agree with that notion. Although phenomenal, it has many issues. So, for the uninformed, and for my amusement, I'm going to do a lightning round of the most prominent arguments against the game, so I can properly criticize Dark Souls Remastered. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Lack of omnidirectional rolling, backstabs, lag stabs, endurance being OP, resistance being useless, magic being way too good, not being able to drink Estus on stairs, NPC battles being a joke, Lost Izalith, Duke's Archives, and parts of Tomb of Giants being complete and utter dog shit, tool wielding being pointless, having to take fall damage to get into Nito's boss fight, Nito's boss fight itself, Capra Demon, and Witch of Izalith's existence, and finally, the big, pointless, gigantic dragon's ass. I don't get why this is in the game at all, but it probably has something to do with Miyazaki's twisted sexual desires. You might be thinking I should be going more in depth with my criticism, and you'd be right if the video was a criticism of the original Dark Souls. But, as you read in the title, this is a criticism of Dark Souls Remastered, which brings me to my point. They didn't fix any of this shit. All of the footage you saw in the montage is from the fucking remaster. You know, some things are understandable to not change. Stuff related to level design and gameplay as to not break the game or upset, old fans. But why not take out the dragon's ass? Why not remove the fall damage you get from entering Nito's boss fight? Why not let us drink Estus on stairs? Are these things core to the Dark Souls experience? And to rub salt in the wound, there's a host of issues the remaster added to the game. Stuff like breaking your character's ankles when you roll, the lighting in some areas, like, look at this room, holy shit! And of course, Famus's delicious fucking lasagna are some good examples of this remaster's fucking incompetence. And can I just say, I think it's so stupid how they just didn't make any changes that weren't cosmetic, even if it would have been easy to implement and would have made the game objectively better. Like, not adding the quick select system from Dark Souls 3 just feels like laziness and not any actual limitation. And of course I don't know any of this stuff, because, well, I didn't make the game. But I think it's fair to assume that adding a better inventory system and some other small changes wouldn't have broken much. Of course, I'm not going to go into too much detail in these because there's a bunch more videos on this topic in specific, so just watch those if you want to see just how bad it truly is. So, if there are other better videos talking about Dark Souls Remastered's shortcomings, why did you still make this? Well, first, I like making videos, so I thought this topic might be fun. And more importantly, I think Dark Souls could be much, much better than this. Like, it's almost rage-inducing how every game in this series reaches so close to perfection, but it's always cut short by some major issue. Good examples being Dark Souls 2 not having Miyazaki working on it, and Dark Souls 3's shameless rehashing on stuff from Dark Souls 1. And I know the remaster added some stuff like the bonfire at Famus and selecting the number of items you want to consume, but that isn't addressing the actual problems the original game has. You know, the stuff I mentioned beforehand. And I know, it's a remaster, it should only make the graphics better, but if that's the case, then it did a terrible fucking job at it. I mean, you can barely tell the difference between the Fix, a free mod for the original game, and a $40 fucking remaster. And it sucks because this remaster was a chance to fix these issues and to make this flawed masterpiece into, well, a masterpiece. Look, I know it's not that simple to fix all of a game's issues and that everything has flaws, but that wouldn't have fit very well into the video, so just shut up.